Yeah, you know, a lot of times when people think about the problems in the PBM industry, they certainly start with transparency, and then they put a lot of focus on pass-through, and it's with the implications that the industry is taking some of the money that otherwise should go back to the plan sponsor, in whether it's called a rebate or something else. I think what is missing in that equation is that that's only the tip of the iceberg of the misalignment, because the basic structure around how we contract and how we define rebates and even maximizing the rebates to meet those contracts and whatever has also created incentives to do the wrong thing in how we manage the drugs themselves, a bias towards higher cost drugs, a mischaracterization on what's a generic versus a brand or a specialty drug, overutilization in some ways, or an orientation towards 60 or 90 day script versus 30 day. All of that is a multiplier effect. It isn't that they're necessarily keeping all the impact, but the waste and misuse of resources, because they're trying to optimize those contracts, is the multiplier of misalignment. So first, I think you need to understand that employer as a fiduciary isn't a fiduciary based on, you know, their best efforts. They're a fiduciary in the context of an expert standard, that they have a responsibility to know what they're doing. And if they don't know what they're doing, they need to get an advisor that helps them to do better and to be on play. And so clearly technical knowledge has to be high on the list. But what's increasingly concerning, and very concerning in today's world, as the advisors themselves are not working for the employers, they're actually working for the PBMs, because they're actually getting paid more by the PBMs than they're getting paid by the employers. And it's a huge part of their business model and creates conflicts that probably creep into why they do things the way they do them. And if you're looking for somebody to take an independent look, they gotta be independent. And so I would look for independence first. I don't think consultants should be brokers. I don't think they should take money from products or service providers. How can they be independent if they do that? Second of all, clearly transparency. There are some of these consultants who get this money that are on gag orders not to tell anybody that they're getting it, right? So that's a problem. I mean, that's a serious problem. And then thirdly, yes, the technical competence, because they gotta be open-minded to the problems that are arising in the industry. And if they're not open to it and they're not smart enough to see how it's not working through, then you've got the wrong advisor. And any advisor that kind of looks at the problems that we're pointing out and says, oh, that's not happening to you, I think you got the wrong advisor.